Hello! I thought I would do some real-time painting for once, since I'm always, doing speed paints. So I thought this time I would paint in real time for a change. But instead of just painting in silence, I would chat about something art-related. Talk about my favorite topic as of late that I've been having many thoughts on, which is generative AI and its applications in the creative field, namely illustration. And my thoughts on it. My thoughts are probably obvious, as I am a creative person myself, but I've come to realize that there are people out there who have differing opinions from me, and generative AI being used to create art is becoming way mainstream lately, and I have a lot of thoughts about it, right? So I'm really into tech. I like new innovations, I like new technologies, I love it. I think it's cool, I think it's interesting. Anything new technology-wise, anything pipeline changing-wise, I'm always interested in those sorts of developments. But generative AI, how fast it's improved over such a short time, and how it's been sort of adopted by creatives is kind of alarming, right? I always thought, when DALL-E, I think it's called, first appeared and you could generate really crude images, I thought that, there's no way that this is going to be widely implemented. No one's going to pick this stuff up. Next thing you know, it's hard to detect if something's legit or not. Even I get fooled nowadays going on Twitter, for example. Sometimes I'll like something on my feed, and I'm someone who has a pretty good eye for this stuff, but that's because, my algorithm is pretty much geared towards creative people who are not, don't use generative AI in their creative process. I've seen a lot of videos and content about how to spot AI. I don't go looking for it, but it sort of comes to me. So I'm pretty good at spotting when something doesn't look quite right, but there's so many ways nowadays to fool the average person. AI tools can fake a sketch. They can even fake a speed paint. They're not very good. They're kind of janky, but the average person is going to see a speed paint and think that, that's proof enough that a human made this image, So I'll be scrolling on Twitter and I'll like something, and then, something doesn't look quite right. And if I find out that it's AI, I have to unlike the post and then block the person, right? And it's damn, even I can be fooled nowadays. Even my eye's not good enough to spot when something's not human made, and that's kind of freaky, right? Because if I gave it a like, that means I found something appealing about it, or something cute about it, something inspiring about it, which is kind of scary. Because that's not what I want. I want my, feeds and to be curated with human-made art only, ideally. But I'm sort of seeing, oh my gosh, I'm seeing such a fast shift to this AI acceptance, especially amongst, the mainstream. And what got me thinking about this were these 3 interactions I had, right, with 3 different people, talking about what I do and stuff. And art's not my full-time gig, but it's my passion and what I do on the side. And on these 3 dinners that I went to, the person I was with was like, why don't you use AI? Why don't you just use AI? Do you not just think it would be faster to use AI? The genuine question coming from these people. I do hang out with non-creative people sometimes, so these 3 people were not in creative fields. They don't have creative hobbies. But it was like the first time that had ever been suggested to me. I was like, whoa, because like obviously in my like online space, no one would ever ask me such a thing, right? And my immediate reaction was like flabbergastedness, right? Like, what the you joking? I did not say that. I was like, huh? Like, no. But it just blew me away that there are people out there that genuinely do not see the value in human-made art, right? Things that are human-made. And I was like, well, you know, calmly, nicely, you know, I wanted to say, you joking, bro. Like, no, I'm not using fucking AI for my art. Are you kidding me? Have you seen what that shit looks like, right? Why would I do that? And they genuinely thought it was a good idea. It wasn't to put me down or make me feel bad. But I was like, oh no, you know, nicely. No, you know, there are some people out there who prefer, you know, they like my work and they feel better knowing that what they've bought has come from a person rather than a machine. And it's like I was giving them this brilliant insight, like, oh yeah, I guess so. But they genuinely could not see why that was an obscene thing to say and why someone wouldn't switch to using AI. And that kind of freaked me out. I was like, what? I will say all three of these people were men, and they weren't in any kind of creative fields or hobby or, you know, side hustle or anything like that. They are normal people, everyday people, right? And it made me think, God, is this what the normal everyday person thinks about creative works and about, you know, generative AI? You know, OpenAI is so wide, has been so quickly adopted by the mainstream, alarmingly quick. And if you're someone who's like quite chronically online, you can really tell when something's been produced by ChatGPT, or if a piece of art is, you know, created by Midjourney or something. But you really do need to be chronically online. You do need to look at so much art that it's quite obvious to you. But the average person, not only do they not spot it right away, but I guess with these three guys, it's like, oh, well, why wouldn't you use AI in your workflow or just replace it entirely, right? And it just got me thinking, like, because I do like technology and I do like advancements. I do like new programs and new ways to do things. And I don't think, unless the usage of these programs becomes too expensive to use or too resource heavy to maintain. Say this just got cheaper to use, more accessible for the average person to use. I do wonder what the future holds, right? And my belief, like my fantasy, my idea in my head, is that one day in the future, it'll become like fast fashion. So you know how like a design house, Gucci would produce a handbag and H&M will create a dupe. So it'll be a similar shape, similar style, color, but it'll be missing the branding. It'll be missing certain details that make it look like a total knockoff, but you still get the look. You still get the trend, the trendy shape or the trendy design. That's what I feel like the future holds. And then you'll have these, I guess, elitists who are like, oh, I would never buy machine-made art. I only buy human-made art. And then you'll have the people saying, well, art should be accessible to everybody, and it's not fair for you to gatekeep it just because you're against machine-made art. Art should be accessible to all. Like, that's kind of the fast fashion conversation. Those who are anti-fast fashion versus the people who believe, even those who are from lower incomes should be allowed to access trendy items. That's my fantasy. If, say, it becomes so normal to like buy things that are machine generated. And even if you know that it's machine generated, it's fine because everyone should have access to it. I still feel like that demographic that's into the human-made art is still going to exist, right? So you'll still have the people who are into luxury goods. You'll still have the people that are into handmade furniture versus IKEA, right? And you'll lose the mainstream, quote unquote. I don't want to say normies because it sounds really sad. It sounds really rude, but you know what I mean? The normies are going to go to art H&M, and then the elitists they'll commission human artists. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that is the future of this industry. I feel like, well, actually this is already happening. Some people, there's like this argument that prompt writing in itself is a human skill, even though the machine is scraping from art that's been taken from human artists without their consent. But yeah, you've got these people who believe that prompt writing is like an amazing, this incredible creative skill, and therefore their art is valid. And I feel like that's just gonna become the new thing in future, you know? It took skill to write this prompt. Obviously, I don't believe that. I also don't believe in using OpenAI, ChatGPT to come up with ideas, quote unquote, ideas for art. I know people do that. People use ChatGPT to come up with what to make for dinner because they just don't want to Google, they don't want to think, they don't want to go to the library, they don't want to walk outside, they don't want to talk to someone else and you know, collaborate and come up with ideas together. They just want it very quick. They just want an amalgamation of ideas that have already been, because they're too lazy to come up with something of their own. And then their brain turns to mush and no new ideas are born. That's not entirely true. I still think, you know, creating is a human desire, and there will still be people out there who are creating new things. You know, machines are going to run out of ideas. Just a thought as I was editing. The argument that human ideas are a combination of other humans' ideas and experiences, therefore they are no different from generative AI, is an idea I disagree with. I just do not think that individual human emotions and how they affect creative output, different human experiences, different upbringings and backgrounds are something that cannot be interpreted by a machine because they're unquantifiable. I think even though someone may have seen every painting in the Louvre, the fact that they came from this type of background or had this kind of human experience and they were moved in this kind of way will affect the kind of work that they would put out versus if you input every painting in the Louvre into an AI generator. They're going to output a different piece because there is a human element that is missing from the machine. So I just do not subscribe to that argument, I am afraid. And everything's gonna look the same. You look on Pinterest right now, and look up, I don't know, anime girl or something. Eventually you're gonna come across some AI looking, so AI slut looking that, you know, anyone would be able to tell that it's AI. And it ends up looking so samey. But like I said, it is getting better, right? Even I get fooled sometimes, right? I feel for the new artists, right? I feel for the people who are just getting started and just trying to put their ideas out there and get more technically skilled. And it must be so disheartening to see how fast these programs can pump out a fully rendered image quicker than you could even come up with an idea of what to start painting. To those people, I would say, oh my gosh, my heart goes out to you, because it must be so daunting. You go, like I said, you go on Pinterest and it's just a cesspool of AI images that are very polished looking. They're devoid of creativity. They're riddled with weird, unhuman mistakes, but at first glance, it's very polished looking. So it does appear as though, you know, if you tried as hard as you could, you'd never be as good as the machine. But I would say to not let it dishearten you, because you can get skilled up with practice. but the machine cannot get, they can't creatively level up, but you can, you have unlimited ideas and human thoughts and emotions that can be interpreted with your vision. You just need to practice your fundamental skills and your technical skills, and that will take some time, but it will definitely be worth it. Do not go down the AI route. Don't be one of those people, man. There's some sorry situations online with some good, I guess, reputable artists online that have decided to incorporate AI in their pipeline or process. First of all, a lot of them don't even admit it until they get caught out about it, and that's so I side-eye them. That's all I can say. If you put it in your process, just be upfront about it. Oh yes, I generate the sketch based off my own art. I put my own work in the data set. I taught the AI off my artwork, and then I pump it out. I don't know about that, man. It's giving soulless. It's really giving soulless to me. I just feel like just do your own thing. Just do your own thing. Take your time. It will be worth it. I don't want to consume or buy or be a part of anything that was not your own hand, not your own doing. You know what I mean? I feel for new artists, and obviously I feel for those in the industry whose jobs are actually being taken away by AI because studios wanting to implement the technology and make things cheaper to produce, That's really sad. Really stink. I don't have any words of encouragement or wisdom or hope for those people. I'm not in the industry myself. I don't really want to, not interested. I would say there's always going to be people who appreciate the human touch, There always will be. Always.
I'll also say independents are obviously not immune to AI becoming more mainstream as well. There is a large customer base that would be happy to commission more beginner artists or otherwise who are happy to generate images themselves or go to an AI commissioner and get images generated for cheap. So that customer base has also gone from the independent marketplace as well.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's like, oh my gosh, what happened? Hello. You gotta just have some hope, And I do kind of wonder, what are we to do, right? What's the solution? In my opinion, I feel like the solution lies with the trend setters. Just like with fast fashion, right? I don't agree that it's the consumer's responsibility to change the culture. I don't really believe in vote with your wallet too much. I more so believe in legislative change, it's up to government, it's up to organizers of conventions and galleries to say, oh yeah, no, we don't accept that. You need to prove that your machine was trained, that's the word I've been missing, trained off of ethically sourced data sets or whatever. Even then I side-eye it low-key, but it's up to those establishments. You can't expect Joe Schmo and his 2 kids turning up to the convention and being like, I want a Pokemon poster, and Pikachu's got 10 toes on 1 foot. Hey, that's AI. Well, my kids like it, so I'm going to get it for them. You know what I mean? You can't leave it up to him. It has to be up to the conventions and galleries to do the right thing. But I am very curious about what the future holds. I like what's happening now. There are a lot of, I guess, conventions, galleries, people who stock, places where you can buy art saying we won't do wholesale with people whose art is AI generated. That's not what we're about, and that's where it begins. I think just keeping it out of circulation is where it starts, because you can't trust the consumers to be discerning, especially when AI art is cheaper to produce and cheaply available to the mainstream. I don't think we can avoid it, but we can sort of, I guess, block it at the source, stop it from being available to people. And, I don't know how far bullying goes. It's like, can we shame people out of consuming it? I see a lot of that online. Someone posting AI comments are like, oh, AI slop, AI slop. But that could be my algorithm, right? My algorithm's always going to be people, making fun of other people for consuming AI. That's what my algorithm's going to be doing forever and ever. But yeah, that's not everyone's algorithm's reality, right? It really did, I'm telling you, it really did blow me away when those three guys, all three of them, were genuinely wondering why I don't implement AI, generative AI in my workflow. But it's like that they must not come across any anti-AI sentiment in their doom scrolling, if they even do any. Like, I have this coworker, right? And he showed me a video on his phone, and it was a cat video, a funny cat video, but it was AI generated. And he was showing it to me, like, laughing. Like, he was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I was like, hee hee ha ha, like, out of politeness, right? But I was like, oh my God, people enjoy this? This isn't just like, that whole dead internet theory where there's no one online, and when you see comment sections filled with people laughing and stuff goes viral, it's all bots and it's not real. No, there are people out there. There are people out there that are enjoying this stuff. There are people out there enjoying AI cat video and thinking that's funny. Like, oh my God. It wasn't my time to lecture him, right? He knows that I do what I do, right? And I want to scream. I want to scream about it. I'm like, you like music, don't you? You like music artists. How would you feel if your favorite musician started producing the lyrics with ChatGPT and then used whatever AI software to do the instrumentals and the vocals, trained off their existing music? And then when you went to a concert, they just played the music and they didn't perform live. How would you feel about that? Could you support them anymore? Would you like it? Like, how would you feel about that? That's what I want to ask every single person on earth who thinks that I should use AI to create my work instead of my own hand. I really want to know, It's like asking you wouldn't ask a fine dining chef, Michelin star chef, okay, a restaurateur, why don't you just buy a McDonald's franchise? You would make way more money. Why don't you, instead of making hand-carved furniture, become an IKEA reseller in a city that doesn't have an IKEA? You would make way more money. This is what it sounds like to me. And, it's very, to people who know me, are friends with me, or like my work, they would think that's unfathomable. But I'm telling you, I've come to know that I'm sorry, but normies, the people outside of the creative sphere, they really do not see the problem. And is it scary? I don't know. It's scary. I'm just surprised, I guess, showing my ignorance, really. And becoming aware of this, how mainstream and accepted generative AI for creative endeavors has become in such a short time. I'm like, this is really going to change the culture in a decade, right? I think a decade sounds about fair. Give it a decade, we're going to see a very interesting landscape. It's going to be treated like fast fashion. We'll have elitists out there who look down upon those who prefer machine-generated art over human-made art. We're going to see it. And I'll be there with my nose turned up, looking down upon all the people at the art equivalent of H&M. I'm not saying I'm anti-fast fashion, but that's like that's my comparison that I've decided to draw with this whole thing. It's totally not all doom and gloom. If you're an artist, we need your ideas. And I'm not saying that just to be like, chin up, we need you. It's a crisis. We're in a creative crisis, McDonald's would not have the burgers they have without gourmet chefs in the background doing their thing, right? There are artisans that exist that make the fast fashion available, right? Exist. We need the artisans at the source of the ideas. And you don't have to be technically skilled to make a difference. You just have to be a human, have a human brain. My computer's about to die, hold on. I actually had my first run-in with somebody generating an AI illustration based off my work without my permission, okay? Without my permission, without tagging me, you know how it goes. Somebody DM'd me and was like, hey, is this yours? I'm just letting you know, I don't know, they didn't tag you. And I was like, oh my gosh, no, yes, that's my illustration, no, they got me, you know what I mean? They got me. And this happens to me all the time, not AI, but people just ripping my stuff and posting it without tagging me, which I don't mind. They don't usually rub out the signature. Or, which really annoys me, is like putting my stuff on a website and selling things like prints or stickers and stuff, like with my art that I try to do something about. Or just like, I had one person like trace something of mine and then sell like a desk mat of it. I was like, oh my goodness, guys, please don't. But the AI one was quite new because it was like, I don't want to say high quality, but it was very polished. So I was like, wow, this looks, if I was a regular person, because I'm not regular, I'm a different breed. But if I was a normie and I saw that, I would be like, yo, this is cool, I'll grab it. Or if I saw it at just like a convention or something. It's the kind of thing I feel like you could see at like a convention. Yeah, it looked pretty legit, eh? So I was like, wow, damn. This sucks. But it's just, I guess this is the new reality, you know? And it's like, what are you going to do to combat it? I can't combat the AI companies, absolutely not. Oh my goodness, there's so much money in AI development. There's a new data center being built in my country. It's big news at the moment because of all the water it's going to be using. And I'm like, wow, you know, my own government is like, they want a piece of it too, right? What can I do? I have to keep making stuff. I have to keep making stuff, and I have to really sell myself as a human, I suppose. And I like to paint, so I'll keep doing it regardless because I enjoy it, but I feel a little bit like I have to prove my humanity a little bit. So, you know, even doing a speed paint is not really enough. I keep, even having like your steps, like your sketch, I don't know, your line art, if you have that, your color layers, even laying your layers out like in your program, it's not enough nowadays because AI can fake all of that. It can fake all of that. If you have a discerning eye, you can tell like, yo, that's like messed up, something a bit off about it. But if you're just a normie, or you're scrolling fast, or you don't really care, you would see that and be like, oh yeah, they showed their layer tree down here, their hierarchy. Oh, that's fine. Oh, they showed a speed paint. Oh yep, no, checks out. Crazy. Like conventions nowadays, the ones that are like no AI art allowed, are they gonna be very savvy? I don't know. Watch the space, I suppose, but I can just smell the scandals coming, right? There's already artists that get called out weekly for using generative AI to in their process, or you know what I mean? It's very just shameless and soulless, right? Don't do it, guys. Be real. I know we want to make a quick buck and we want to be popular on Twitter and we want lots of followers and we want to be a superstar artist at 16 years old and everyone's impressed with our drawing skills, but where does it get you? Where does it get you in the end? If you had to sit there on live stream and do paint something, you wouldn't be able to do it. And that's just embarrassing. You know? Let's be cool. Yeah, that's just my ramblings about my thoughts on AI art. I just blew my mind that I've been living in such a bubble. I've been living in this, I have creative friends and I have people who respect art and respect creative craft in my life. I don't have AI slop enjoyers in my circle. So yeah, when I was like confronted with that, I was like, what? Is that a joke? Me? Use Midjourney? It's like, oh yeah, you could you can make so much more money. It would be so much faster. It's just like, is this, where am I like right now? What the f are you talking about, mate? Crazy stuff, man. Crazy times that we live in. But we have to keep making stuff, eh? Like, even the beginners, don't worry about the technical skill. Don't worry that your stuff doesn't look polished just yet, you know? That can come later. There's a lot of value in human ideas, I believe. Humans are still doing amazing things with different mediums, you know? And AI can probably replicate something similar, but they don't have the idea in the first place. The idea has to come from a person. So yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say about the topic, I think. It will get worse. I think. Here's the thing, like, is generative AI becoming more expensive to upkeep and develop? You know, will it become too expensive? Or is it going to get cheaper and more accessible? I don't know. It's definitely getting more advanced. An AI video can look like really realistic nowadays. People's styles can be emulated so much closer now, you know, artistic styles. In such a short time, it's unbelievable, you know. I'm so glad that organizations and conventions and galleries are saying no, like using machine learning in creative works. It's got to stay that way, I am. Anyway. Do you like what I'm making? This is Lollipop Chainsaw. Do you know that game? This is like a very nostalgic game to me. Played it back in high school. So I'm going for like a campy zombie monster kind of movie poster. Okay, so like Night of the Living Dead, Friday the 13th, Halloween kind of style. So here we have some zombies from her school, her high school students, and a cop. Here is the school, and here's Juliet styling, so cute. Holding the chainsaw. This was so hard to draw. I'm not good at hard surfaces, but I did it's getting there, okay? And there's her jumping and a school bus, and I don't know what to do with the title. I'm thinking like, maybe like the O can be a lollipop or something, and here chainsaw can be like bleeding. And I'm gonna do a rainbow and have some taglines all around, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm thinking like white background and like red, like a red blood smear accent. I'm not sure. I've got like a bunch of zombie movie posters from like the 80s that I'm referencing for the composition and kind of just the overall style. So I'm trying to go very graphic with the I guess line art, so like quite thick, kind of like this style, like for the shadows in here, like black. And I don't normally do black lines. I normally do something close to the base color. So the hair would be like a dark brown, not black like this. But this gives it like a more comic-y. If you've played Lollipop Chainsaw, you know the cutscenes are like comic book panels. So it's kind of this graphic style. So we're hearkening back to it, you know? See? Listen to that. That's the human perspective, the human commentary. Do you know that AI would not be able to give you that commentary? Actually, maybe it could. You could plug the image into ChatGPT and say, write a commentary on this art piece. And then it would write a soulless commentary. Man, I love the tech. But it's so soulless. It's not creative, guys. It's not cute. It's not cool. Your ChatGPT written story is not heartfelt. It's not cool. I don't want to read it. Your ChatGPT list of ideas of things to paint is not cool. It's not inspiring. I don't like it. When I catch you using AI for your art, I unfollow you. I block you on Twitter when I catch it, okay? You have been warned. Seriously, I want it to stop. I wish I could shame everybody who uses it. Everyone. I wish I could bully them like it's high school, you know? See, I'm channeling this art into my thoughts. Yeah. Anyway, that's just like my ramblings on what I think about the topic right now. I'll see you in 10 years' time when AI art has taken over the world. Yeah. So yeah. Let me know what you think. Do you like AI art? Did you use ChatGPT with coming up with a list of things to draw? I hope you didn't. Have you ever liked something that was AI and then unliked it when you realized? Then you're cool and I like you. Okay, that's all I have to say. Bye bye. And AI sucks and I hate it.